Good evening. This is Ed Buskirk with the Disney Movie Database, bringing to you our very first vlog. Thank you all for tuning in. Just ask that you share this out with your friends and your family. You know that you are all Disney Movie Database family, so we're glad to have you with us here tonight in our very first vlog. Welcome to what we affectionately refer to as the Clubhouse. This is our Mickey Mouse, our family Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, where we have video set up for the kids, games set up for the kids. This is where we do all of our art, and as you can see, I've got several of my mini movie posters behind me. But we'll give you a tour of the place on another episode. Right now, I just want to welcome you into our home and say thank you for tuning in. So this is our first vlog. This will be the first time that we bring you our news in a video format. And I'll be doing this twice a week, once on Mondays and once on Wednesdays. We picked those days just so that we could share the box office results with you at the end of each weekend, and then do like a midweek catch up on the news. And then that also leaves Friday open in case we have a movie coming out that week. I can give you a short review of the film. Nothing comprehensive, never going to be anything spoiler related. Just that way we can come to you and talk to you about the movie and our thoughts on the movie as soon as it happens. This also gives us a little bit of freedom during the week to where if a trailer drops or if a big news story breaks, we can go a little bit more in depth into that story, and I can tell you what my feelings are on it. And the most exciting part of this for me is the fact that I'll be able to ask you what your feelings are on those stories, and we'll be able to communicate a little bit via the video here. So we'll bring in other tools like Facebook, possibly even Facebook Live in the future. But if you have any questions, if there's anything that you want to know about me or about the Disney Movie Database, feel free to leave a question or a comment in the Facebook group. We have a large, nice sized group over there. It's growing daily, and I thank you for that. So if you've got any questions, leave us a comment over there. You're welcome to go over to the website itself and send me an email. And I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your questions, hear your thoughts, and just tell me what we can do to make this better. So without further ado, this will be our first daily dose of Disney digital video movie news. So this will be our first vlog. Today we're going to talk about box office results. We're going to talk about the Golden Globes. We're going to talk a little bit about Ridley Scott and a possible change in a video release date. As you know, as many of you know, last week we talked about video release dates on the website and gave some speculations to when those might be coming out. One of those might be changing already, and I've got the information here, so I'd like to share that with you. So let's start off with our box office results from the weekend. Now, the number 3 film at the box office this weekend was Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Star Wars: The Last Jedi pulled in another $23.5 million, bringing its grand total to $1.205 billion worldwide. That is a huge, huge number. And you gotta be happy with that. I mean, for this second film in this new trilogy to be over $1 billion, I think the executives have to be raising a glass to that. So good job, Ryan Johnson and the rest of the team that brought us this movie. It's $1.2 billion. It's quite an accomplishment, and money is still rolling in overseas. And it's still got legs at the box office, as they say. Number 9 of the box office, still in the top 10, was Coco, pulling in another $5.5 million. It has actually reached $589 million worldwide, so it should be able to cross the $600 million threshold without any problems whatsoever. And that's quite an accomplishment in and of itself. So good job to the team over at Pixar for all the hard work on Coco. Lastly, the only other Disney film that's been released, or that is in theaters still, is Thor Ragnarok. Thor came out in November of last year, the very beginning of November. It is still going at the box office, pulling in another about $500,000 at the domestic box office this weekend. Its worldwide total is up to $849.7 million worldwide. So any time now, Thor Ragnarok could actually crack the $850 million mark. Another huge victory for the MCU, for the Thor Ragnarok team, and for us as Disney fans. Disney is still just crushing it at the box office. In relation to that, last week we had kind of teased that we had talked about street dates for some of these films. The Last Jedi, several retailers are reporting that on March 27th, that may actually be the street date for Star Wars The Last Jedi. It seems a bit soon for me. I was predicting somewhere in mid-April, but certainly 3/27 is within that ballpark. The release date being on 3/27, they may hold off the digital copy until it's treats with the physical media, because it does seem a little bit soon to me. But of course, we live in a new world, and with new media, this is the release dates are getting closer and closer and closer to the theatrical release date. So, also today, last night, the Hollywood Press Association hosted the Golden Globes. This is an annual event held in Hollywood, California. And as you know, one of the categories that is handed out yearly by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is Best Animated Film. This year, big congratulations to Coco. Coco won for the Best Animated Feature of the year. Well deserved. Ken, I know you're probably rolling your eyes as I'm saying this, but it's a very, very good film. We really enjoyed the film. It's a great film about family. Highly encourage each of you to go see it if you have not already. But Coco, very, very good film, very deserving of the Golden Globe. So congratulations to the whole team there at Pixar. Also last night, a Disney legend herself, Miss Oprah Winfrey, was the recipient of the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Outstanding Contributions to the World of Entertainment. That's a mighty long title to put on a little trophy. But Miss Winfrey won this award for her contributions to entertainment, and well deserved. She's done quite a bit over the years, as you well know. Oprah was introduced by Reese Witherspoon, of course, her co-star in Ava DuVernay's upcoming A Wrinkle in Time, and Miss What's It and Miss Who were able to gather on stage, and she presented the award, and Miss Winfrey accepted it. So Miss Winfrey actually gave a speech that has everybody in Hollywood all abuzz today. Everybody was really talking about what she had to say, and brought everybody to their feet. So if you get a chance, just go look up her speech. Really talking to women out there and empowering women, and she had a very, very powerful message. So I would encourage each of you to go out and check that out. Again, it seems like Miss Winfrey is, with this message, especially just spreading a little bit of light in the world. And that is awesome, and I think that that's what this new film, A Wrinkle in Time, is going to do. It's calling each of us to be a warrior for the light, and I personally can connect with that message. I certainly hope that this film does all that I wanted to do, and I think that in the hands of Ava DuVernay, very, very talented director, we will get a very, very special film. So very much looking forward to that, and Oprah Winfrey's performance in A Wrinkle in Time coming up in just a couple of months in March. So lastly, there's a story going around that Alien director Ridley Scott has an idea for a trilogy of films involving King Arthur. I believe that these are based on a book series that I'm not familiar with. I apologize. But he has been in talks with Disney to develop this trilogy of films about King Arthur, and he's also been in talks about what could possibly be a Sword in the Stone live action project. Now, whether the two coincide with each other, or whether one is, or maybe somebody is amalgamating the two. I don't know. I have heard vague talk of a Sword in the Stone live action, but it seems to me like this is a trilogy of films that he seems to be very passionate about. So we'll have to wait and see how that develops. But if Ridley Scott could get behind the camera of a King Arthur trilogy for Disney, that'd be big news. So as many of you know, I'm a big fan of podcasting, and this week we've also got a few. I'll be talking to you as we do the vlogs about a couple of my favorite podcasts. One I'm a little bit partial to, as you know, being a fan of podcasting for many years. As I was looking for something that was Disney movie related, I actually came across two. This first one was the Disney Movie Review, and that's hosted by Ken Jones, a good friend of mine. As you know, I'm a contributor to that show on a weekly basis, so I'm very privileged and proud to be able to do that. But Ken, Cameron, Kristen, and I get together on a weekly basis, and we just discuss the weekly topics or what's in the news as far as Disney movies go, and we do talk a little bit of parks as well. So, as many of you know, I'm also a big fan of podcasting. I was a fan of podcasting for many a year, and then through a twist of fate, I was able to start some conversations with a now very good friend of mine, Ken Jones. He invited me onto his program, the Disney Movie Review, and I've never left. So weekly, I'm very privileged to be able to share the mics with Ken, his brother Cameron, our good friend Kristen DiBiase, and myself. We sit down and we talk about the latest in Disney movie news. This week we actually talk about foul language in Disney movies and what that could mean going forward for Disney movies and for Netflix. So it's a very interesting conversation. I encourage you all to give it a listen. Go over to the Facebook page for the Disney Movie Review. Listen to the show. Go and like it on iTunes and leave us a 5-star review if you would be so kind. It really helps the show to grow, and we just really appreciate your support. Also, drop us a line and just let us know how you're enjoying the show. So, another podcast that I discovered when I was looking for podcasts specifically about Disney movies. As you know, there are many podcasts out there that deal with the Disney parks. Very few deal with the Disney movies and Disney movie news. But another podcast that does it very well is the Disney Magic Hour. This has been a favorite of mine since I discovered it shortly after discovering the Disney Movie Review, as a matter of fact. And I've actually reached out to the people on there, and I consider them very good friends as well. So give them a listen. It is a fun show. On a weekly basis, dive deep into what makes these movies great. And then they also cover a little bit of the parks, and they cover a little bit of Disney movie news themselves. So this week they actually take a look forward at 2018, and they talk about what they're most looking forward to in the coming year. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun, and you can't help but smile when the whole crew's together just doing their thing. So, Pete, Melissa, Brian, Courtney, all you guys over there, love you guys. Keep doing the good work, and also give them a 5-star review on iTunes. Help them to grow and spread the show. It's a lot of fun. I'll touch base with you on a couple more podcasts that I listen to, but if you go to the lower left-hand side of the website, I do update the shows as they come out weekly. So if you over there and you look, you'll see the most recent show, and you click on those links and you can listen to the most recent episode. So I'd highly encourage you to do that. We'll be back Wednesday with a couple more that you may want to check out. So I think that's going to about wrap things up here. I do appreciate you tuning in and sticking with us, and we'll see you real soon.